You're in the front all night long.
If he could get in the front, I think he could stay there. But it just seems like it's Jeff and the car. They just like to get into that rhythm, and it takes them too long.
Casey Kane in the 5 trying to regroup
15 of 20.
on Jimmy Johnson. This is
Sorry,
for 5th place.
the picture's not good. I'm sorry.
Casey Kane told me this week that race at Kansas where they had a top 5 finish, he said, I think we finally hit on something, especially for our mile-and-a-half program.
Right now, Jimmy Johnson here having a pretty good battle right here. Casey got a little tight off turn 4. It allowed Jimmy to close back up under him. You see that nice, man, it's such a great run off turn 2 over there. So much speed. You got to be able to run that line if you're going to go anywhere.
5 to go before this time by in the first 20-lap segment. All 22 cars still on the lead lap. You'll see the running order scroll through at the top of your screen.
Right now at the front, the stopwatch is pretty even with Kyle Busch in the 18 and Jeff Gordon at 24. Their times are mirroring one another.
Yeah, and then you take Edwards and Harvick, they're mirroring each other. So the first 4 cars pretty much running. The first 2 the same speed, the second 2 the same speed.
Kyle Busch comes to the stripe, and we begin the 18th lap of this first 20-lap segment. Toyota, Chevy, Ford, 1, 2, 3.
And Mike, what NASCAR will do here directly is they will close pit road. This keeps from a team from manipulating the system and not letting them hit pit road early. Now we've seen the red light come on. You cannot pit now.
See what I was talking about, Mike? Jeff Gordon on the 19th lap, 18th lap, is closing up. And if this thing was 30 laps long, it'd be just right for Jeff Gordon. But it's about 10 laps too short for what I've seen this year with that car and that driver.
3rd place now, Kevin Harvick going after Carl Edwards.
2 laps to go.
Kyle Busch was the leader after 2 of the segments in this race last year. He finished 3rd.
But these drivers know, even with that caution coming, every position you can gain will help your average finish at the end of 4 seconds.
Yeah, right here. That's
Last
one
lap.
thing Kevin Harvick knows about getting around Carl Edwards. That's a spot. It could help that average when you get to the last segment.
And this is the last lap of segment 1. Casey Kane closing on that group.
Tell you one thing, Larry, that 24 car, that Chevy engine under the hood, and putting out some power.
And here comes Gordon. He's going to close to within about 4 car lengths of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch the leader in segment 1, then Gordon, and side by side, Kane nips Edwards for 4th behind Harvick.
That could be big.
They'll let the field cycle through, and then caution will wave, ending the 20th lap. The race is 90 laps total, 4 20s and a 10.
Yellow's out. First segment.
Last 4 all-star races. Kurt Busch did it, and so did Jimmy Johnson.
I know this is going to put Denny Hamlin out there in clean air in that 11 car, but he started 22nd. He really hadn't moved up, but his pace had slowed down over a second. I'm just afraid he's going to be in the way.
I don't think that's going to be a pretty good move. 2 tires I can understand. No tires, not sure about that one.
Boy, Hamlin grabs a gear and goes. We are back under green. Kyle looks inside Newman, which would have taken him to the grass.
Boy, that almost was disastrous, but Kyle checked up and let Newman go.
Keselowski comes off the corner second. Chasing Hamlin, and Kurt Busch is there.
Here comes the 5. Look at the 5 go down the bottom, going into 3 over there. Casey Kane looking for some running room on the bottom.
Didn't find any. Edwards around the outside in 4th. Close there between Ryan Newman, and Kyle Busch in the 18.
I've been watching Kurt Busch in his 41 car on the left-hand side of the screen. He has been getting a great run off the corner. One of the drivers that changes right side tires.
Well, I tell you right now, that 11 car with no tires, that's blowing me away. I thought he would be a roadblock. I thought he'd be in the way.
Fresh air, Darrell.
Yeah,
Clean air out
we've
front.
seen that time and time again.
But it's all about improving your average finish. And he
3
did
of
have a very
20.
good finish in that first segment.
Here comes Carl. The 99 on the outside for Carl Edwards. Kurt Busch down low in the 41. This is the 3rd place race off turn 2.
Interesting, interesting. 4 tires, 2 tires, no tires. Wow. Who would have thought it?
And Edwards goes from upstairs to downstairs. He's going to go after Keselowski.
Yeah, he likes that bottom. That's where he was kind of hung up in that first 20 lapper. He likes to run the bottom.
Harvick, Gordon, Johnson, Meyer, mid-pack is up front. Now you ride with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Next to Ryan Newman's 31.
Yeah, Ryan Newman at 31, 2 right side tires only, and he's absolutely dropping like a rock.
Tell you what, they better get some going real quick because here comes that 24 car, and he has got a fast car tonight. Jeff Gordon on the move.
He has caught Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski. There's Gordon's 24 in fourth, in a position to challenge. Keselowski comes back on the outside, and they touch. He and Edwards get together.
Carl just cannot get off the 2 on the bottom like the guys can get off the 2 on the top. There's just so much speed up there.
That brings the 5 of Casey Kane into the picture as well.
Woo, man.
Whoa, that's close.
Man, he cut right in front of the 2 cars.
No quarter asked, none given.
Yeah, could you cut me a little slack? Forget about it.
Boy, Carl Edwards got a great run off turn 2 that time, and at 99 up to the top side of
Whoa, trouble, turn 3. Turn 3, Kyle
Hard into the wall
Busch.
goes Kyle Busch and slammed into by Joey Logano.
Kyle Busch went all the way down on the apron to go down the back straightaway and lost control. Come up in front of the field. Oh my gosh.
First pileup of the night. And Kyle, who went to victory lane in last night's Camping World Truck Series race here. And Joey Logano.
Mike, he was coming down the back. He went way to the inside, which is really dirty down there. There's always a lot of dirt and sand. And when he tried to come back up in the track, the car spun out.
Kyle was running 8th and collected Logano in 12th. You're going to see him running up on Clint Boyer. And we'll watch what happens next. That's Boyer in the 15.
Right here. Now watch, he goes right here. He's going to go to the bottom. Here he goes, way, way down the bottom. Oh, he got into Boyer, and then Boyer clipped him.
Here's a better look. Because when he gets off of Boyer, now he's got to take evasive action, and that puts him on the apron.
Yep.
And around.
And then him and Clint touched just enough when he was down on the apron to turn him around.
Dale Jr. just misses him.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Joey Logano does not.
Probably would have been okay if it hadn't have been for that. Kyle might have been able to get tires and kept going, but that did him in.
We've got a lot of drivers on pit road. This is probably a strategy where they'll stay out maybe at the end of this segment here.
Carl Edwards, Denny Hamlin, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Hamlin. Oh, he's slow to the get-go here.
Yeah, he had no grip. He spun the heck out of his tires, and that bottled that whole inside up. It cost Jeff Gordon a bunch of time right there. Somebody's up in there smoking.
Clint Boyer, I think he may have got run again.
Allmendinger hard into the wall. Oh, no. Might have had a little help.
Well, they were all bottled up in there. The car I'm smoking, I think it's, I couldn't tell who it was. Maybe the 31?
A.J. Allmendinger was 10th in heavy traffic. Before we get replays, let's go down near the care center. Jeff Hammond.
Kyle Busch, you got an opportunity to see the replay. What happened out there?
Just trying to run the high side there. Got to run off two. Saw Kurt get really bottled up and about getting the wall, so he had to check up real hard. And my shot was the middle and to go across 3 lanes and underneath Boyer, but Boyer blocked it. And when he did, I got into him, got in squirrely, and I was still going low, trying to get by him, and he touched me and just spun me out the wrong way. So I don't know, just trying to go. You know, you got a couple guys in front of you a little slower than you. You're trying to go because you know that you got to be up front and you got to run hard and try to get as many positions as you can for the average finish and to try to keep up front in order to try to get your best pit selection come segment 4, but bit me in the rear.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, Jeff. Now we're under caution once again. Let's show you what happens to the 47 of A.J. Allmendinger, right of your screen.
Yeah, Looks like this 16 was going by the 55 here on the outside, but there's a car up there smoking. Who was that smoking?
That's Clint Boyer.
Boyer, yeah, he's up in there smoking. I think that was maybe a distraction, and then this happened.
Allmendinger was coming up, and Vickers was coming down to try to avoid what might be going on in front of him.
A lot like what happened to Kyle Busch when he was trying to go by the 15. They made a slight contact, but it spun him out.
So let's ride with Kevin Harvick. He's trying to come out of about 12th place here. Greg Biffle might have rushed Vickers there.
Yeah, he did. He was just forcing his way by on that high side, and he ran out of room, got into Vickers a little bit, and
You
shot
can
him down
see
to
him
47.
right here working on the left rear of Clint Boyer. Remember, I think this came from Kyle Busch in the 18 in that wreck before.
Now, the other driver who was taken out in that crash was Joey Logano.
Tonight, and try again next year. We'll be right for the Coke 600 lap.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, Krista. Ready to go back to green, completing 33 laps. Carl Edwards out in front of Casey Kane on the restart.
Hamlin just cannot go. I mean, he just doesn't have the grip, and that down on that lower side there's not a lot of grip in the track, and he holds that inside line up. He hurt Jeff Gordon again big time.
3 wide. Greg Biffle on the outside. Kurt Busch in the middle. Jeff Gordon on the bottom.
Yeah, I think Denny Hamlin just has no grip. Remember, he's not changed tires yet.
Yeah, he picks up more dirt and debris and rubber and stuff on his tires than anybody because they're older and they're hot, and they just pick up that stuff.
Yeah, we're riding with Denny Hamlin, and he actually had stacked this whole group of drivers behind him.
Wow! Oh my gosh!
Hello.
You won't see that every week. 3 wide and nearly 4 wide coming off turn 2.
I swear you think these guys were racing for $1 million. I don't know what's wrong with them.
For the lead, here comes Casey Kane. Brings that number 5 train to the
16
front.
of 20, 4 laps to go in segment 2.
Carl Edwards not going to give it up without a fight. Carl's got the run in turn 2. Going to settle for second for now.
That's pretty much a power move on that 5-car, Casey Kane.
He pretty much showed in that first segment that 5-car of his is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Biffle. 3 wide again with Harvick and Hamlin.
Wow.
And Hamlin got a piece of Biffle as he went by.
That normally doesn't work.
No.
But they'll make it work tonight.
Oh, somebody slowing in turn 2.
That's Hamlin.
And that's Hamlin. He almost stopped and parked in turn 2.
I think he's paying the price now for those old tires.
Or Jeff Gordon had to get out of the gas, and Jimmy Johnson went by Jeff like he was stopped.
I think Hamlin's got a problem. He's got maybe even have a flat tire.
Denny Hamlin falls to the rear. And the field strings out just a little bit. 3 laps to the end of segment 2.
Casey Kane in that 5, he is laying some of the fastest laps that he's run in this race so far. Here we are almost at the end of segment 2.
Casey Kane likes this racetrack. This
Right
place is good
front
to
tire is down on Denny Hamlin's car, but he cannot pit. The pits are closed. He'll be penalized if he comes in. He's going to try to ride it out and stay on the lead lap.
Well, as long as that tire does not blow out, he should be okay.
Yeah, pretty soft when we went by here.
Harvick second in the 4. Edwards, Biffle, all chasing Casey Kane. They're not going to catch him.
Now, Kevin Harvick was one of 9 drivers that pitted on that caution at lap 25 and
Last
got 4
lap.
fresh tires on his 4 Chevrolet.
Saturday on Fox Sports 1.
Freak.
Former Motor City
Oh,
Monster
Casey
French
Kane wins that
fielder.
segment.
My guys are going to work hard. We'll come back strong next weekend and go get them.
On the restart, Jamie McMurray inside, Matt Kenseth outside. 22 starters, 3 cars out of the race. Logano, Kyle Busch, and Allmendinger. Who's that way up high and coming hard and fast? Casey Kane once again.
5-car, yeah. He's got that outside and he's going somewhere.
And he
Whatever.
has 4 fresh tires. They changed 4 tires on that stop.
Look at that thing go through the middle of the corner. He was backing the gas.
Keselowski for second. Kenseth now third. Kane has passed Truex for fourth. Biffle behind him.
I know Casey Kane in the 5 that he has 4 fresh tires, but he has a great race car and he can make that high side work.
They just get out of his way. Man, Kansas said, hey, you're a lot faster than I am. Have at it, buddy.
200
But as far as those drivers that stayed out with only 7 laps on their tires, I like their strategy because they're working to improve that average finish.
Yeah, that's what you got to remember.
Come on.
It's your
You know
average
what?
finish right
Can you
now
do
that
it?
you
Can
gotta
you do it? Can you
concentrate
do
on.
it?
Well, Harvick's working to spoil the party. Here comes Kevin in the number 4 on the inside of Martin Truex Jr. for 5th place off turn 2. He gets it. The boy company's coming.
Yeah, you know, Harvick's made his car better because he struggled down low off turn 2 earlier, but that time he was able to make it stick and get by Martin Truex in the 78.
Behind him, Biffle up high, Edwards down low. Biffle with 2 tires. Edwards and Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, they're all charging toward the front. Oh, boy.
I don't know. He's all right, but man, that was tight.
Ryan Vickers in that white 55 car, he's going to take advantage of what went on there in turn 2.
Busch almost ran out of racing room there as Jeff Gordon goes by. Keselowski has caught Jamie McMurray for the lead. And Casey Kane in the 5 is right there.
Yeah, I don't think they can hold that 5 car back. He just has too much speed. Watch that thing go down that back straightaway.
Yeah, he was right against the wall in turn 1 and 2, and then pulling off the wall, coming off the 2, and just rockets down that back straightaway.
Well, what he can do is that right there. He can go in on the bottom, he can go in on the top, and he's able to keep up his speed and pass people where he catches them. And he's doing a pretty darn good job of it. Keselowski fights back, which that's no surprise.
Keselowski almost had 2 tires in the grass coming through the quad oval.
Look at this, so I mean, just long gone. Casey Kane, high, wide, and handsome.
Brian Vickers moving up on Jeff Gordon now.
You can just see that 5
Came
car.
down.
When he gets back to the gas, he doesn't play around. He gets back wide open, and that thing just leaps forward.
Watch him right here. He'll go up to the high side, almost all the way up against the wall, and watch this run right here.
I think he drove in a little too hard that time. He got up a little high, had to stay on the gas a little bit. But he can't hold him up very long.
Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson on the right, fighting for 8th. On point, McMurray trying to hold off Kane.
See, that's what makes him so good right now. That car it'll go low, it'll go high. He likes the high line. It's making some fast speed up there, but he can pass him on the bottom when he catches them.
And now that he's taken the lead, he runs that white line at both ends of the racetrack.
He is on a mission. On $1 million mission.
They'll do 600 miles on this racetrack next Sunday night on Fox. Stock car racing's longest night tonight. It's NASCAR's All-Star Night. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon moving past Martin Truex, and Carl Edwards struggling to get back to the front. He's in 10th place in the 99. All right, Jamie McMurray has surrendered the lead. Steve.
And he may be in trouble, Mike. He just told his crew, he said, I have a bad vibration. He said, it feels like a loose wheel. The crew is at the ready.
But he was one of the drivers that stayed out on that last caution.
Yeah.
So he's been out there since lap 25 with the set of tires that's on that one car.
Tell you what, it had to be really, 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 really loose to come in this race. If you can hang on to it, a little vibration, you just have to deal with it because you only got 10 laps to the break.
Lap 50 this time by. 10 to the next segment end as Kurt Busch fires low on the 99 of Carl Edwards.
Yeah, and here comes Kevin Harvick. He's got that 4 car wound up. He's got a good run on Keselowski going down into 3. Probably be able to make that pass all right. Don't cut the old 4 car out.
Back at 11, Edwards trying to scramble back, gets a little bit of the apron there, and here comes Ryan Newman and Denny Hamlin and Clint Boyer.
It's like Carl Edwards got back in traffic after that last restart, and he's just not been able to do anything with his 99 car.
And that's got to be so frustrating. To be able to get out there, have a car as fast as he did, lead the race, and then you get back in traffic and can't go anywhere.
This is Paul. This is Paul's office. For those who believe
He's about equal with the 5 with Casey Kane. I don't think Kane is probably standing on the gas as hard as he could, but Kevin Harvick is coming.
Yeah, with 7.5 laps to go, Kevin Harvick's going to have to put his work clothes on to catch Casey Kane in that 5.
Yeah, he's going to have to reel him in.
Makes a nice dive underneath McMurray and gets into clean air now. But he's 1.4 seconds back of the leader with 7 laps to go in this segment.
I know Casey Kane's on cruise because he's not running his fast line. He's running his more conservative, they can't catch me line.
Here's Denny Hamlin in the 11th. Remember, had that right front going down at the end of that last segment. Working against Kurt Busch in his 41 car. This is a battle for 12th.
Carl Edwards coming back into this picture after dropping pretty well back. Every position counts because it is your average running position at the end of all 4 segments that determines how you will enter pit road before the final segment. You'll have to change 4 tires, and whoever gets off pit road first starts first for the 10-lap shootout.
Yeah, there's some serious math work going on down there right now. Where are we and what do we have to do in this next segment?
But that's what I truly like about what Jamie McMurray, Brad Keselowski, and Matt Kenseth did. It was not a move that was going to win a segment, but it looks like they're going to be close to all getting top 5 finishes in this segment.
And Keselowski was running 14.
Now that'll certainly pick up his average. 5 laps to go in segment 3. Kurt Busch in the 41, Boyer in the 15.
Boyer had to spend a lot of time on pit road on that last caution for repair work for that 15 car.
Remember, Busch spent most of the day at Indianapolis qualifying for the 500.
Right now, Kane and Harvick are the 2 best cars, and then after them, McMurray, Keselowski, and Kenseth, and even Earnhardt, they're all running pretty much the same speed.
Three laps to the next competition caution, the one that will end segment 3. After that yellow, they'll run another 20-lap segment and get ready for the 10-lap shootout.
I've been watching this battle between 2 teammates. We're riding with Jimmy Johnson in the 48 with his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. Dale Earnhardt Jr. only took 2 tires on that last stop. Jimmy Johnson took 4.
Yeah, and Kenseth in the 20 there, he got loose up off 2 that last time by there, and that's how come Dale Jr. was able to really close on him. And here comes Jimmy Johnson now looking underneath the Dale Jr. It looks like he's going to be able to make the pass.
2 more laps in this segment. But for Kenseth, staying out paid off. He was 15th of the last caution flag. By staying out, he may finish this segment in the top 5. 3 of the top 5 stayed out. Casey Kane restarted 8th with 4 fresh tires.
And that was a good strategy move. They came in and got those 4 tires at the 25th lap. They were able to stay out, and it paid off.
We listened in on Casey Kane's team.
I know Harvick's fixing to, pass Murray, Harvick's a little bit closer in speed to us. Harvick might get settled in right here. We're out there, he's only planning on taking 2.
Little straight. Jamie McMurray brings him to the flag. Brad Keselowski spun the tires, got a little loose, got a little bump from Kurt. And it's going to be Jamie Mack, number 1 into turn 1.
You spin the tires here at this racetrack more anywhere else because there's 0 banking. It's so flat. It's not like a lot of racetracks. You've got a little degree, 5 or 6 degrees of banking. Flat.
Jimmy Johnson stuck in the middle.
Real trouble off turn 2. He just right side tires, and he was really stacked.
Hard to the wall. 3 cars in a flame. Goes Jeff Gordon.
Ooh, just
with Martin Truex and Greg Biffle.
The fire's out, just smoking now. Come down pit road if you can.
It's Jeff Spotter, Eddie DeHaan. Boy, there's two torn up race cars.
Wow.
2478 and 16.
Straight to the garage.
And,
I
Gordon
be
got
like
the worst
Gordon.
of it.
I like
Biffle
Biffle,
also hits
though.
for the garage.
And Truex.
Wow.
Truex already in there.
Well, let's see what happened this time.
Sixth
This was turn 3, Darrell, up high. Now you see Biffle. Yeah, there's Truex ahead of him. Jeff Gordon is ahead of both of them.
There's Kansas on the bottom right here. There's Gordon up ahead. Oh, Gordon comes up in the front of the Truex there in the 78, and then they just get hooked up and drive up into the wall, and then Biffle had nowhere to go. He was just kind of a victim there of circumstances.
But compared to the car on the inside, Darrell, Gordon for some reason slowed abruptly before all that started.
Have to look at it another time or two. Couldn't get a real good idea about why that happened. Looks like Jeff's car just kind of wants it just takes off all at once.
Darrell, it almost looked like a right front tire may
It
have been
did.
going soft on that 24
It sure seemed
car.
like it there because the car just all of a sudden started to veer up the track.
You know, last week we saw a big fire on Jamie McMurray's car.
No, but if you think you can stay up there, we'll stay out. If not, I'd rather be the aggressor.
Jimmy Johnson restarts 6th. See if he can stay there for these next 14 laps. Finish off segment 4.
We got Denny Hamlin looking to the outside right here. 3 wide off turn 2. That hadn't worked out too well tonight, but it did that time.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson in 48 lost 2 spots in about a half a lap after that last restart.
Second place. Harvick in the 4, Keselowski in the 2. Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, 4 cars under a blanket.
Carl Edwards has finally gotten himself back up near the front after being back in the field there for a while.
Whoa!
Man, did that thing take off. Woo!
He almost slid right up into Kurt Busch.
Boy, he did. That was a lot of skill, but a lot of luck, too.
But Busch didn't notice. He's going after Keselowski for 3rd.
He's got him. Oh, no! That's a little too much speed.
Oh, somebody hit the wall, bounced off it hard, and that was Ryan Newman.
No, Casey Kane. Kane got into the wall, too. The whole right side of Kane's car is caved in.
Yeah, Casey Kane in that 5 has lost a lot of spots since that last restart.
Yeah, his whole right side's caved in. I don't know when he did it, but it looked like
Pretty hard.
There you go. Hit the wall pretty hard.
Kane and Newman hit the wall coming off turn 4.
Okay, ladies. Your arguments are both true.
Jamie McMurray still out in front.
And
Kevin
he
Harvick stalking him.
McMurray has not changed left side tires since lap 25.
I got to believe that the 4 car has a pretty good average.
Well, we know he was in the top 5 at the end of segment 3.
We've seen him up there all night, so he's got a real good average going. And McMurray ought to have a pretty good one now. If he can stay up here and lead this thing.
Keselowski alone in 3rd. Then it's a gap back to Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, and Denny Hamlin. This is for 9th place. Matt Kenseth on the inside of Earnhardt.
Dale Jr.'s car is just not, it won't turn. It's real, just shoving up the hill. And here we go. Look at the inside. Harvick was on the McMurray, but wasn't quite there.
Boy, Kevin got a great run up top off of turn 4, but McMurray shuts the door on him down the front straightaway.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to hold that 4 car off. That thing is on. It's hanging pretty good right now. In the turn and down the straightaway.
Well, there's no lap leader money, no segment leader money, but you want to be the first onto pit road at the end of this segment when they restack the deck based on your average running order at the end of each 20 laps. Jamie McMurray has 2 Sprint Cup wins at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's trying to hold off Kevin Harvick.
You know, while we're watching this battle for the lead here with about 7 laps to go, the guy that has made a great recovery, the lower left, Denny Hamlin at 11, he just cracked the top 5 in this segment. And remember, he had that flat tire at the end of segment 2. It was limping around.
And on the lower right, that 9th place battle was Earnhardt and Johnson.
Jamie McMurray in that 1, he is not rolling over to Kevin Harvick in that 4.
No, I think Kevin's car's a little bit better, but he just can't get the thing in the right position to get by. And McMurray is running a little bit lower line, and it's just making it hard for Harvick to make the pass.
5.5 laps to the end of this segment.
Look, I've been impressed with a bunch of guys. There's Keselowski's third, and Kurt Busch in the 41 car. He's running fourth, Hamlin fifth. Some great recoveries here by these guys.
Brian Vickers to sixth.
Yeah, Carl Edwards in that 99, he was so good the first two segments, but they've really gotten off with their adjustments on this 99.
Here we go off turn 2.
Four to go.
Kevin
3.5 to
Harvick
go.
has not led a lap tonight yet.
Whoa, that's edgy. That's edgy. Woohoo! Forced his way in there on that one.
Little bias, DW?
He pretty much just set him up right there.
He did, and I mean, McMurray didn't give him but just enough room.
I think with having a lot fresher tires, especially the left side tires on that 4, I think Kevin will just drive away from McMurray now in the 1.
Isn't it funny though how hard you work? Can't get by when you do get by. You drive off and leave the guy.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. now 9th. You heard about Jimmy Johnson trying to hold track position. That did not fare well for the 48. He is back to 11th of 16.
I think Jimmy knew that. Jimmy really knew that wasn't going to work. He told Chad, it's like I'm trying to work a jigsaw puzzle in here. And can't find the right pieces.
Brian Vickers coming back toward the front. He is 6th. Kurt Busch in 4th. Denny Hamlin 5th. Vickers 6th. These cars are about 4 seconds off the lead.
You know what? I got to tell you something. That 41
hit the
goal,
wall.
wait a minute, did a 31 get into it?
We have 2 laps to go.
Right side is getting in. Your right side is getting in.
Yeah, right front's down.
I was going to say 41 car Kurt Busch running in 4th place. I want to give a shout out to Parker Klingman. Parker drove that car for Kurt, helped him with it. Must have done a pretty darn good
Not
job.
yet.
But that car's been good tonight.
We knew yesterday Brian Vickers in this 55 had a fast race car, and he's backing up now in the closing laps of this 4th segment as he just drove by Denny Hamlin in the 11 for the 5th spot. Hamlin's fighting back, though.
Yeah, Vickers second fastest in practice in the one practice session that we had. Now they're closing back on Kurt Busch. Klingerman will be doing substitute duty again next week for the Coke 600. Practicing that 41 while Kurt is at Indianapolis.
Kurt's going to be able to hold off.
Johnson and Earnhardt, green flag laps only count in the final 10 laps. Here we go.
Here we go.
Kevin Harvick struggled a little bit.
McMurray is trying to find a little room to get up along the side of Carl.
Ooh. They touched. They hit each other going into turn 1.
There comes Harvick in the 4 on the bottom, and how about Kenseth in that 20 up there outside?
McMurray for the lead. And into 3, Edwards by a nose.
Boy, Kenseth packed it in, but he couldn't hold the bottom. He had to scoot up the hill, and then Kevin Harvick get by. And here comes McMurray on the outside. He's going somewhere.
They are trading paint. Edwards, McMurray for the win.
They touched again as they get
Going
down through
somewhere.
here.
Like, turning left.
Harvick backs off to a respectful distance.
Taking no left.
McMurray is going to
Bringing
clear
it left after
the
that.
99 to Carl Edwards, and he is out of here.
What a run for Jamie Mack. Now
Carl
Edwards and Harvick together.
He's got his hands full of that 4 car now with Harvick.
They better not stay side by side very long. Kevin better clear the 99 and Carl Edwards are at. One car is gone.
I mean, Jamie McMurray is running some of the fastest laps of the night.
That is the track record. That's the old track record, 27:68.
Now here comes Matt Kenseth into this battle for second. And right with him, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
But Darrell, you're right. They keep battling. That little orange and black car is getting smaller and smaller up there.
It's might be a little
He's shrinking?
7 laps to go, and Jamie McMurray has a 1.3 second lead on Kevin Harvick.
Nancy Carter's not letting all that rain at Indy, but I think this might make up for a little bit of that tonight.
Now Harvick is clear back into that 20, and he is on a roll here, setting his sights on that 1.
He better dig. It's like Junior told me, you want $1 million or you want $250?
but the difference in the first two cars' lap times that time was only 1/100th of a second. Now Harvick starting to make some inroads on McMurray's lead. But it'll be 5 laps to go.
Kevin is right. He came in leading the race. He went out third. Needed a little bit better pit stop, I guess, to get up there after him.
He did beat McMurray 0.2 of a second that lap.
Last week, Kevin Harvick closed a big gap and came within a car length of winning at Kansas. But with 4.5 to go, he's still got to make up 1.1 seconds. And Matt Kenseth is coming hard from third.
And Jamie McMurray in that one, he is hugging that white line. Both ends, the shortest distance around this 1.5 miles.
McMurray's counting them down, and
What's so funny
Harvick
about
said,
that?
"Oh, please, give me a few
He
more
said it was
laps."
white line.
Also, you know what, Kevin Harvick looks up there like he sees the dollar signs.
And for the first time tonight, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car coming fast on Carl Edwards. Jr.'s got a great car. He's just too far back to win this. He's 3 seconds off the lead as he moves into 4th on Edwards.
They got that old dump truck running pretty good right now.
3 laps to go, and Harvick only took a 10th from Jamie McMurray that time.
Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it.
You got to give a lot of credit to rookie crew chief Keith Rodden on that one car. He changed 4 tires on lap 25, and he never changed 4 tires again until before this segment here started. He kept that track position.
Where did Jamie McMurray win his first race?
Right here at Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
2 to go.
There's Keith
And it's
Rodden.
under a second now. Harvick is doing just what he did last Saturday night at Kansas, showing us why he is the closer. Under 9/10 of a second. Every corner, Harvick packs it in as hard as he can and takes a couple more 100ths from McMurray's lead. Will it be as close as it was last Saturday night? White flag for Jamie McMurray.
Boy, I tell you what, he's got a whiff. He's getting a little draft off that one car now. He's gonna be just like he was last Saturday night. He's gonna be oh so close.
One more corner.
0.8 of a second. About 160 feet. It might as well be 160 miles. Jamie McMurray wins the Sprint All-Star race.
Oh my.